They called the police because I moved into my ranch. 3 days in, and the HOA president is yelling at me. You're in violation of community standards. Remove yourself immediately. 2 cops, 1 clipboard-wielding busybody. All because I dared to unpack on my 1,000-acre property. Karen Whitaker thinks she owns this place. The sheer audacity of these folks treating me like a trespasser on land I bought fair and square. But here's what makes me chuckle. She has no clue what's coming. This entitled suburban overlord just made the worst mistake of her career. I was barely through my first cup of coffee when the sirens pierced the morning quiet. 2 patrol cars barreled up my quarter-mile gravel drive, lights flashing red and blue across my unpacked boxes like some twisted 4th of July display. Behind them trailed a sleek black SUV, the driver clutching what looked like an official binder. Officer Riley stepped out first, a seasoned guy with salt and pepper hair and the deliberate stride of a cop who'd seen it all. His younger partner, Vargas, hopped out next, notepad ready, eager to handle what they'd been told was a major zoning bust. But it was the woman from the SUV who stole the show. Karen Whitaker emerged like she ruled the earth, in a crisp gray suit that screamed high-end, striding with the bold assurance of someone used to bulldozing opposition. Her immaculate auburn bob didn't budge in the breeze, and she scanned my spread with the disdain of a health inspector at a greasy spoon. "Mr. Harlan," Officer Riley said, his voice laced with the fatigue of a man dragged into a petty squabble. "I'm Officer Riley. This is Officer Vargas. We've got complaints about your property use. Reports of agricultural violations and unpermitted building." He nodded toward the barns and sheds behind me, clearly noting their weathered age and long-standing setup. Karen pushed forward before I could reply, exuding the kind of clout honed from years of neighborhood power plays. "Mr. Harlan, I'm Karen Whitaker, president of the Oak Ridge Meadows Homeowners Association. Our plat maps and zoning docs show your whole property inside our boundaries. The farming you're doing breaks our residential rules, and it stops now." I sipped my coffee, eyeing her with real interest. "That's a bold take, Mrs. Whitaker. Care to show those maps? I've been poring over some records myself, and the lines here are trickier than you think." My steady tone threw her off, and I saw Riley's brow furrow as he caught the hint of deeper issues. "Sir, we're here on zoning complaints and standard breaches," Vargas chimed in, pen hovering. "Got permits for the livestock? The report mentions cattle gear, noise, and illegal structures." He was trying to the eyes, but his voice suggested this might not be the crisis they'd expected. Karen's face tightened. "Officers, this neighborhood's upheld strict residential norms for 15 years. Every owner agreed to covenants upon purchase, no matter prior uses." She turned to me with a sharp smile. "Mr. Harlan, whatever deal your grandfather cut ended with him. This is a planned community now, and rules apply to all." 15 years. I nodded, letting that hang for the cop's sake. 15 years is precise, Mrs. Whitaker. Enlightening. Riley seemed to mull over property rights and grandfather clauses, and the math wasn't adding up for her. "Officers, there might be some mix-up on jurisdiction. I'll make calls today to sort who controls what here." My assurance rattled Karen, though she masked it. Her fingers clenched her folder tighter, the one with maps that had her convinced she held the aces. What she didn't know, I'd spent months digging into recorded easements and original covenants that told a very different story. "Mr. Harlan," she snapped, edge sharpening. "You don't get how HOAs work. All Oak Ridge properties fall under us, including Ms. Grandfathered farms. We've aligned non-compliant ones before." The veiled threat registered with the officers, hinting at past bullying. "Oh, I grasp HOA's fine," I said calmly, setting my mug on the porch rail. "I've researched governance, covenants, and farm easement precedents thoroughly." The emphasis sowed doubt, and she reassessed what she'd thought was easy prey. Riley eyed the ranch anew, seeing its deep-rooted history against distant suburban sprawl. "Ma'am, when was this HOA formed, and what's the claim over farms?" His questions sharpened, and Karen's poise cracked. "Our docs clearly include this land," she insisted, defensive now. "Developers mapped all parcels in our limits. Harlan Ranch is inside, end of story." She clung to papers from developers who'd fudged lines to inflate HOA reach. The sun rose higher, warming my back and reminding me why I'd ditched city life for this. Karen ranted about deadlines and enforcement, But I watched the cops realize this wasn't a simple violation. "Mrs. Whitaker," I cut in. "I respect your standards zeal, but recorded easements and covenants here are active. Pre-development farms have legal weight." I smiled, the kind that signals trouble. Vargas paused note-taking, confused. This wasn't a rogue shed. It was a legit ranch challenging HOA bounds. Both officers looked uneasy in this tangled rights mess. The standoff dragged 25 minutes. Probes, warnings, fading threats. Karen left thinking she'd intimidated me like others. Cops departed puzzled, sensing no easy fix. After their dust settled, I dialed a number I'd held for 3 days. "Mike, it's Jack Harlan." "Yeah, they bit just as you predicted. Karen Whitaker just picked a fight she can't win." My old college buddy and lawyer chuckled as I surveyed the 1,000 acres she thought she could boss with bad maps and bluster. 3 days. I'd given them 3 to show their hand, and they'd outdone my expectations. Karen had committed to a losing battle against someone she'd failed to vet. Time for phase 1 of my grandfather's master plan. The dust hadn't cleared when I stood in Elias Harlan's old study, amid boxes of docs holding keys to Karen's illusions. The oak desk where Elias planned Oak Ridge's birth dominated, now piled with papers telling a truer tale than Karen's 15-year reign. It demanded patience amid rising abuse, but eyeing the evidence, I knew it'd pay off. My phone buzzed. Text from Mike Donovan. "Cafe on Elman 20. Talk cop visit." Mike had doubted my wait-and-see from the start, favoring quick strikes, but he'd backed Elias's long game, even as I weathered a legal torment. Driving past Oak Ridge's cookie-cutter homes, white fences, uniform lawns, developer riches on homeowner misery, highlighted the ranch's stark freedom. Why this mattered beyond me. Mike waited at our booth in Brewster's Cafe, laptop open, notes from prior huddles. At 45, his real estate law prowess had decoded HOA oversteps. "That was quick, 3 days to cops," he said, sliding a folder. Aggressive, even for Karen. Inside, her cited maps, Mike's breakdown of manipulations claiming undue control. Harlan Ranch, 1,000 acres. In 2001, Elias split 47 southern acres into 12 lots, joining the new HOA in 2003, giving him say while keeping the rest free. Here's what Karen misses. Mike pointed to boundaries. Elias wasn't just founder. He enabled it all. Docs grant founding family permanent oversight and farm exemptions. She assumed rights died with him, but they passed to heirs meeting residency, which I had on move-in. Among Elias's files, his final blueprint, exposing HOA graft, foreseeing this clash. The old man had prepped for years, amassing proof for his heirs' unfinished war on tin pot dictators. What about Sarah Beaumont's financial finds? I asked, recalling chats sparking more than business. Sarah, CPA new to Oak Ridge 3 years, sought stability but uncovered rot as volunteer treasurer, far beyond slipshod. Sarah's prelim shows $180,000 shady, spends last 2 years, Mike said, spreadsheet up. Consult fees to Whitaker Law Triple Market. Landscaping to board-kin firms. Gear from ghost addresses. Sarah's drive was personal. Her dad hounded from an Arizona community over medical gear, dying post-forced move. She boarded to prevent repeats, finding worse. How soon for AG complaints? I asked, timing key. Graft deep, ripe for charges ending Karen's rule. Need more violation patterns, Mike said. Each illegal move bolsters us. Karen thinks pressure forces fold. She's evidencing her own prosecution. Personal toll mounted, surveillance, bogus fines, neighbor fallout. Then Sarah, risking all with docs, now in Karen's sights for ruin. Something else. I hesitated, mixing heart with law risky. Sarah and I, it's beyond docs. If Karen learns, Sarah's a prime target. Mike's face sobered. Relationships in warfare create weak spots. Karen exploits any. Genuine. The query made me reflect. Sarah, smart, principled, brave. Talks shifted from fraud to justice. Life dreams. Real pull, real peril. Genuine, I admitted. But ties make targets. She's risking job, partnership amps pressure. Mike pondered. Elias planned isolation and harassment. Didn't factor romance as leverage. He noted, accelerate, shield Sarah pre-Karen strike. Responsibility weighed heavy. Fighting alone one thing. Endangering cared for one's changed stakes. Quitting meant abandoning rights, Sarah's safety, community's escape from Karen's grip. Next, I asked, Karen plotting with Victor Whitaker's law smarts and 15-year ties. Mike packed. Doc Morning's mess, file standing claims, preps Sarah. Karen declared war on prepped foes. She'll learn why Elias was revered and feared. Heading to my truck. Past Sarah's home, where she gardened despite 2 notices, her wave made risks worthwhile. Elias built for mutual good. Karen twisted to control and profit. Lines drawn, proof mounting with each overstep. Human cost rising. Sarah learned standing up in small towns could be deadliest. 2 months into Karen's drive me out push, my kitchen table groaned under certified mail thick as firewood. $4,200 fines for absurdities. Mailbox tilt, overgrowth, gravel upkeep, animal smells, no seasonal decor. Harassment pro level. Patrols noting truck angle, grass height under claimed rules. Rita Jenkins drove 12 miles for trough picks. Paula Fletcher decibeled morning tractors, ignorant of farm noise exemptions. They'd crusade against a supposed threat. Morning mail escalated. County inspector complaint claiming unlicensed commerce in residential zone. 17 signers, road/neighbor telephotos alleging industrial farm, health risks. Phone rang as I read inspector's notice. Sarah's voice tense from months turning personal. Jack, they hit me with state board misconduct. Victor Whitaker delivered, claiming I leaked HOA finances, urging ethics probe, maybe criminal. Attack on Sarah signaled new phase, destroying innocence for control. Complaints could drag, tarnishing rep regardless. Warfare to isolate whistleblowers. Targeting my boss too, Sarah rustled papers. Karen called firm, hinting disputes compromise me. Implies our tie conflicts judgment. Primitive rage stirred, but Elias warned emotions provoke errors. Boss's take. I asked, answer dictating Sarah's endurance. Reviewing assignments for conflicts, she bittered. Freezing me out while deciding if I'm worth HOA backlash on clients. Guilt crushed, but folding proved attacks work, easing next victim's crush. Breaking cycle needed pain for justice, but paid by loved ones. Mike Prep's responses, I assured. Whistleblower claims rarely stick with our docs. Omitted. Escalation neared decisive action. Morning brought Inspector Doyle, rumored cozy with Victor's firm beyond ethics. Clipboard ready, bias evident. Mr. Harlan, investigating unlicensed ops, zoning breaks. Residents report industrial use on residential land. Tone authoritative, gaze skeptical. Inspector, happy to show AG designation, history. I offered Mike Prep folder. Continuous since 1947, all under exemptions. 3-hour poke, photos building case over inspection. Questions betrayed farm ignorance, suspicious approach. Structures modified sans permits, he pointed to old edition. No records for outbuildings. Livestock may exceed limits. Ignored grandfathering, making permits moot. Report fueled Karen's next. Code compliance for pre-code builds. Warfare creating costly woes under enforcement guise. But overreaches added proof against broader graft. Afternoon, Mike's office boxed evidence. 2 months harassment, finances, board letters, illegal acts. Case for charges overwhelming, timing crucial. Accelerating. Mike reviewed report, Sarah complaints. Beyond HOA to agency attacks. Suggests pro advice. Victor's firm billed for harassment strategy. Attorney repping disputes now orchestrated against challengers. Conflict layering graft. How much more for criminal? I asked, Sarah's career fraying. Close. Mike timeline showed escalation. Sarah attacks cross to whistleblower retaliation. With finances, abuse, grounds to end it. Drive past Oak Ridge's fenced uniformity, evening lights in windows hiding fears of challenging untouchables. Sarah visited ranch for strategy, shifting to personal costs of defying unchangeables. Porch overlooking pastures turned battlefield, fight transcended property. Jack, no regrets exposing them. Sarah held my hand as light faded. Dad died thinking folks can't fight crushers. At least we tried. Over 1,000 acres Elias built. Responsibility for Sarah's sacrifice. Community's future weight. Tomorrow, more harassment. Tonight, peace reminding why worth it. Karen picked wrong rancher. Patience had limits. 4 months in Karen's legal overkill masterclass, ready for her first glimpse of doom. Morning, cease desist from Victor's firm, demanding compliance or liens, for sale. 20 pages, threatened seizures, charges for legal farm acts, Ms. grasping HOA power. Threats toothless. HOAs can't force farm sales predating, but showed tactics cowing priors. Instead, terror, called Mike. Time phase 2. Karen gifted abuse proof. I scanned Victor's sign-off crossing ethics. State HOA complaint. Mike's 23-page precision. Violations, finances, abuse painting systemic rot. Included every letter, kickback docs, retaliation proof. Addendum hinted Harlan Ranch special status sans full reveal. Founding rights violated by illegal jurisdiction grab. Warning shot making Karen. Victor see forgotten docs. Community buzzed. Hours post-filing. Calls from neighbors with harassment tales. Elena Ramirez, widow whose hubby early boarded, shared worst. Drove neighbor Mrs. Ellis out last year over oxygen tanks violating aesthetics. Forcing sale to dodge liens. Died 6 months later in nursing home, feeling failed hubby. Jack, waited 3 years for resourced fighter. Elena frustrated after powerless watch. Stories mild and mine, pattern driving dozens away. Community voiced against Karen's sway. Sarah's situation steadied post-Mike counterclaims as motivated retaliation. Firm restored assignments, distancing controversy. Stress forged our bond, revealing character normal life couldn't. Never thought right standing so tangled. Sarah walked ranch checking livestock in legal fray. Dad said corruption thrives on powerless belief. Get it now. First Karen crack. Emergency board meet on complaint. 23 attended. Biggest ever. Mood defiant versus Karen's control. Folks' silent years questioned finances, vendors, enforcement basis. Mr. Harlan's claims serious on money. Robert Hayes, Sarah's brother-in-law new to Oak Ridge. Before dismiss, independent audit for transparency. Grenade in Karen's domain. Response panicked under command. Board handles finances. She sharp when queried. Harlan's harassment to dodge standards. Won't intimidate by outsiders disrespecting covenants protecting values. Confidence gone. Defensiveness hinting grasped challenge scope. Mike as rep presented findings shocking room. $200,000 plus irregularities. Canon contracts. Victor firm fees 300% market for harassment advice. Unfounded. Victor interrupted back. Procedure breach revealing non-independent tie. Added conflict proof. Climax. Hayes invoked Article 12 bylaws. 15% membership vote on transparency, overriding board. Varied provision Karen couldn't block. Audit vote 15 to 8 despite her. First overturn in years. Precedent eased future challenges. Postmeet, Tom Grady and 3 neighbors approached. Forming reform group for audit, elections. Run for board. Your law, property know-how restore balance. Invite countered Karen's suppression. Chance internal change while building criminal case. Consider it, I said, knowing candidacy triggers vicious backlash. Evening porch with Sarah, community ripe for change, but Karen's lost response likely uglier harassment. She'll unleash all. Sarah from Treasurer Insight. Let her. I satisfied strategy dividends. Each illegal strengthens prosecution. Evening air prairie scented possibilities, sustaining Elias's democratic dreams. Karen corrupted to ugly oppression. Tonight proved communities choose justice given chance. Reform forming, state probe starting. Karen learning 15-year corruption catches up. 6 months into Karen's self-righteous standards defense. Her world crumbled unforeseen. Morning. IRS compliance review on anonymous tip alleging unreported farm income. Not full audit, but account restrictions choked cash for ops, legal fights. Timing no coincidence. Sophistication showed Karen's municipal web deeper suspected. Calculated to force financial cave when law failed. Pressure most couldn't weather innocent. Mike's recent talks pessimistic, warning scope, ties, hinting shift. Bigger than handle, he'd stressed, pushing retreat. Pattern discouraged versus advantages. Afternoon revelation explained. Overheard Mike's office call retrieving forgot docs. IRS should drain in 60 days. Mike to unknown. One more pinch, he'll settle. Karen right on leverage. Confrontation devastated. Roommate turned counsel leaked strategy weeks. helping counter plans. Understand scale, Mike pitted post-demand. Karen's county deep, Victor reps half businesses. Settle, rebuild elsewhere. Offer generous, $75,000 drop complaints, comply, NDA silencing finances. Salvation for most under IRS, ruin. Evening low, Sarah brought news forcing cost confront. Mortgage servicer got Victor inquiry on loan terms for violations. Suggests disputes, undisclosed litigation hitting credit. Threat to Sarah's stability escalated beyond mine. Warfare destroying lives outcome independent. Karen hit vital spot, security over fight. Bet most sacrifice principles for safety. Sarah Porsche where started. Maybe right. Senior cost, now mine. Stubborn or smart. Guilt compounded. Strategy exposed her avoidably. But early strike let Karen claim ignorance. Network survive victimizing. Elias's study night. Doc's boxing power to end now. Wade futures, community type. Decision, not just us, Oak Ridge's fate. Breakthrough, Elias's hidden safe video pre-death. If watching, they've attacked innocence. Elias from screen. Network full scope, destroy permanently. Included federal contacts probing area graft. Codes for accounts docking illegal HOA Victor official deals. Evidence triggered probes shielding Sarah, reformers. Karen thinks naive outsider intimidable. Elias satisfied chess master. She's built her case while development vet documented violations. Next morning federal complaint. Comprehensive graph from HOA through inspector to Victor and more. Finances overbilling, harassment cord, statute violating abuse. Response swift. 24 hours. Sarah's mortgage suspended ethics probe Victor. My IRS flagged irregularities. Investigators confirmed preliminary protections during review. Jack, how long Elias plan? Sarah sunset over pastures. Precision, contacts, timing, not reaction, years prep destroying scene developing. Elias plan since disgusted board resign. Years docking activated on innocent attacks. Karen's 6 months built own ruin. Tomorrow she'd learn reign over. Federal reviewing destroy authority, Victor practice, silenced community protected retaliation. Strategy worked, cost higher. Sarah and I survived destroyer assaults. Bond forged principles most never test. Whatever next, proved sophisticated graft meets match in enduring justice price. 7 months into Karen's values defense delusion, morning call shattered power illusions. FBI economic crimes com request meet on municipal graft, mail fraud, authority color civil rights conspiracy. Afternoon presser drew local media, long-waiting residents. Community center Karen intimidated decade, podium wait Elias legacy, revealing truth restoring justice. I'm Jack Harlan, 7 months documented Oak Ridge HOA, associates crimes. Today, reveal corruption scope, my legal end authority. Authority bomb force hit. Presented 1991 deed. Harlan donated Oak Ridge land. 2003 docs granting founding family permanent oversight. Karen assumed died Elias. Language clear hereditary on residency. I met. 7 months. Whitaker harassed someone with supervisory power over her org. Mike compiled finances. $340,000 questionables. Kin contracts. Victor fees astronomical for harassment. Bank. Email. Convos proved cord enriching while abusing. Bombshell. Elias proof municipal graft beyond HOA. Inspector Doyle $40,000 Victor consult targeting foes. Commissioner Hayes campaign contributions for backing HOA complaints. City Attorney Mills advice expanding authority violating state law. Network weaponized government for vendettas, gain. Karen defense worsened. Fabricated by standards violator since arrival. Illegal commerce, board harassment, value destruction via frivolous claims. Desperation as world collapsed. Mrs. Whitaker appreciates standards dedication. But harassment, fraud, process abuse have consequences connections can't shield. Community erupted. Silenced residents shared harassment, intimidation, relocations, oppression driving families bankrupt. Oak Ridge Karen protected, place elders died nursing after home loss. Sarah testimony weighted credential, courage despite retaliation. As CPA, ex-treasurer, verify largest municipal graft encountered. Funds diverted. Victor inflated fees. Kin vendors. Questioners harassed to flee. David betrayal shocked. Ethics pros grasping. Parker leaked strategy to Whitaker's billing me. Recorded calls proved. Licensed casualty network collapse. Federal agents monitored. Secured evidence pre-destruction. Karen exit blocked agent Laura Benson. Person interest federal probe mail fraud. Rights violations. Extortion conspiracy. Dynamics shifted instant. Residents eggshell walked free spoke endured harassment. Driven owners returned claim rights. Restitution. How long new authority? Lisa Conway newspaper. Why endure 7 months enviable day 1? Hard Elias strategy. Patience destroying thoroughly. Grandfather new asserting wouldn't kill enabling relationships. Needed full illegal reveal. Government abuse. Prove official court. 7 months price ensuring never again. Presser ended announcement. Assume oversight immediate. Elections 30 days genuine rep versus Karen Picks. Action suspended review. Victim cases restitution possible. Post most satisfying hour. Approached dozens grateful finally. Standing permanent unchangeable oppression. Elders driven homes. Families bankrupted violations. Owners blacklisted political. All voiced someone endured suffering justice. Evening Sarah porch started 7 months. Sunset over symbol resistance, tyranny governance disguised. Federal probe months, immediate threat gone. Oak Ridge heel oppression corrupted Elias cooperation vision. Grandfather proud. Sarah handmine planning harassment-free future. Built neighbors support. Restored by refusing corruption destroy creation. Karen reign over. Tomorrow rebuild trust weaponized institutions supposed serve. Tonight peace drew family land generations. Satisfaction proved patient determination overcome injustice truth-backed. Principle commitment unwavering. 8 months post Karen's catastrophic cop call on unresearched. Federal courthouse buzzed reshaping local politics generations. Economic crimes built speedy cases messaging authority abuse consequences personal vendettas gain. Morning. Mike Donovan disbarment. Spectacle drawing statewide pros witness career destruction client betrayal. Evidence overwhelming. Calls leaking strategy. Bills time opposing. Emails proving against interests. Egregious privilege violation 15 years. Judge disgusted. License permanent revoke. No reinstate. Forward criminal fraud evidence. Mike's ruin warned others. Personal satisfaction beyond vindication. Man urging endure while secretly opposing explain no U.S. firm hire client seller. Karen criminal trial national media landmark HOA authority abuse. Municipal graft. Charges comprehensive. Mail fraud false notices. Extortion conspiracy authority color. Rights violations targeting challengers. Racketeering criminal enterprise governance disguised. Whitaker ran HOA personal fiefdom enriching associates terrorizing submission. Prosecutor Elena Ramirez opened. Stole hundreds thousands funds driving innocents homes manufactured violations, harassment. Case devastating. Finances theft, convos official harassment court, dozens resident testimony, painting shocked prosecutors. Abuse beyond fraud to rights violations destroying lives, bankruptcy. Sarah Key witness impact credential. Courage exposing despite career destroying retaliation. Whitaker HOA criminal enterprise, Sarah Steady. Funds diverted Victor inflated fees. Kin landscaping. Questioners harassment forcing away. Municipal network revelation shocked county, triggering years probes. Doyle $40,000 plus Victor services, faux targeting, always violations when Karen wanted. Commissioner Hayes contributions, exchange supporting complaints challengers. Attorney Mills advice illegal expansion knowing violated HOA law. Victor's separate trial ethics, fraud attention sophisticated schemes. Used HOA counsel, private attorney conflicts enriching violating responsibility. Bar prosecutor Lisa Conway. Build harassment advice, court officials abuse processes, privilege shield crime. Sentences reflected seriousness, life-destroying crimes. Karen 42 months federal prison, 3 probation, $387,000 HOA restitution. Racketeering lifetime HOA lead ban, never abuse again. Victor 48 months, permanent disbar, $2+ million civil judgments damages driven homes manufactured harassment. Mike, 18 months conspiracy, law prohibition, liability-enabled damages. Recovery exceeded. Federal forfeit seized corruption purchased assets, accounts. Driven residents compensated fees, moves, emotional. Oak Ridge values surged post-corruption elimination, attracting harassment avoiders. Stable, transparent management created wanted community versus endured evil. My unanimous HOA president election among 87 first genuine decade meet. New board, Sarah treasurer, Tom Grady vice, Elena Ramirez secretary, reflecting values versus Karen authoritarian. First priority new board, Rachel Brooks, Channel 7 interview reform agenda. Healing, I center residents finding voices. Karen 15 years convinced governance needs surveillance, harassment, intimidation. Prove neighborhoods better cooperate versus violation hunt compete. New structure axed misery-making surveillance. Landscape sustainability encouraged natives, conservation. Reviews safety, maintenance versus uniformity stifling expression. Transparency cornerstone. Online monthly reports, quarterly meets question spins, suggest changes. Contrast Karen's secrecy dramatic. Participation rose input welcomed versus threat. Evening Sarah walked ranch symbol resistance. 1,000 acres Karen tried clipboard control stretched hills golden sunset. Landscape family heritage, community freedom. Grandfather amazed strategy success. Sarah engagement ring catching light wedding planning celebrate commitment, recovery. Planted justice seeds destroying corruption never return. Elias vision restored patient determination, principle commitment even unbearable cost. Karen corruption attempt strengthen bonds, proving neighbors unite in justice-led. Stars emerging over Harlan as discussed AG Education Center teaching sustainable farming honoring Elias build over destroy belief. Karen terror over. Tomorrow hard rewarding, creating community, children grow believing justice possible, ordinary power better neighborhoods. 1 year post Karen's catastrophic cop call, Harlan Ranch hosted celebration, transforming cop-harassed pastures, festival ground, 400 neighbors commemorating county's complete corruption victory. Irony lost none, especially Officer Riley honored guest post-advocate police accountability, investigation. Jack, admit first violations call, never dreamed biggest county probe. Riley watched kids hay bales, parents share before after. Best non-arrest, most educational career. Long game master. Festival beyond vindication. Oak Ridge transformation endured to chosen. Values up 34%, ethical management, eliminating harassment genuine safety, environment standards. Home waitlist 6 months families discovered HOA serving versus intimidating. Harlan evolved Elias proud. Working op employing 24 locals, ed programs kids sustainable farming academics. Success showed AG residential coop benefits managed understanding both. National cable doc crew wrapped interviews. Primetime investigative series Grassroots Justice. Story inspired 60-plus nationwide reforms. Producer Lisa Conway packed. Harlan model implementing California, Florida. Residents' tactics exposing corruption, restoring accountability. Sarah pregnancy announcement festival added personal triumph neighbors, shared struggle now joy. Same porch Karen first threatened, surrounded struggle family friends. Satisfaction proved principle overcomes organized injustice. Attention, Mike near barn federal seized evidence. Year ago, some watch cop car's driveway certain thought intimidate new neighbor. Too bad. Neighbor inherited authority, obligation and terror permanently. Crowd laughter, applause genuine celebration survived terrible stronger. Kids loud play free noise threat, fear running property childhood possibility, sans surveillance. Elders-driven violations planting bloom harassment-free gardens. Karen complete destruction law school, ethics program cautionary. 42-month minimum security grounds maintenance daily reminded corrupted standards. Lifetime HOA ban ensured harassment expertise never threatened families' peaceful lives. Victor practice collapsed 48-month disbar. Clients discovered corruption-motivated advice vulnerable lawsuits, charges. $2 million judgment liquidated theft disguised assets restitution, life destroyed harassment. Mike 18-month followed profession exile. Betrayal case, study ethics consequences advantage over responsibility. Related field attempts frustrated employers recognizing privilege betrayer untrustable confidential. Victory ripples beyond. State legislation strengthening homeowner rights. Federal HOA oversight standard previously unaccountable. Harlan Institute Community Governance Corruption Recovered Funds Training. Resources fighting authoritarian HOA nationwide. Advice facing HOA harassment. Rachel Brooks, Channel 7. Doc Everything. Build neighbor coalitions. Remember bullies rely intimidated victims no fight back. Over faces strength discovered not alone in justice. Karen controlled 15 years people believed powerless challenge seeming unlimited authority. But corruption seeds own destruction confronted enduring temporary suffering permanent justice. Evening Samuel Elias Memorial Garden dedication. Natives sustainability beauty, sans obsessive maintenance Karen demanded. Centerpiece plaque. True community strength neighbors supporting success, not competing find failures. Sarah and I walked ranch sunset gold crimson western hills. View sustained family generations, building meaningful heritage, future hope. Our child grow community cooperate versus violation report. Justice possible courage, stand together corruption. Lessons prevent future oppression endured overcome. Grandfather strategy beyond imagination. Sarah Handlife, created fighting valued. Not just destroy Karen corruption. Created model protecting nationwide similar. Elias legacy outlive us. Over 1,000 acres, symbol resistance, tyranny governance disguised. Responsibility honoring ensuring generations inherit justice normal communities. Karen attempt corrupt Elias vision strengthened, proving corruption defeatable ordinary extraordinary courage right. Stars emerging over Harlan Planning AG Center teaching sustainable honoring Elias communities prosper, build together tear down. Tomorrow new challenges, responsibilities. Tonight's celebration victory proved democracy survive assault, defended understanding freedom, requires vigilance, abusing authority advantage. Karen Whitaker called police thinking another victim intimidable submission. Too bad. Chose wrong rancher mess with. What do you think about this story? Share your thoughts in the comments below, especially on themes of injustice and abuse of power in everyday life. Do you believe patience and strategy are always the best way to fight back, or should people act immediately against bullies? Take a stand and let us know your views. We'd love to hear from you.